Does anybody else feel like throwing up right now? We are breaking down that disgusting episode of Cult this week on American Horror Story Dissected. Hi, I'm Sadie Guinness.
And I'm Keisha Hatchett.
And that definitely had to be like the most disturbing episode we've seen this season, right?
Yes, there was plenty of terror, and I don't know what to do with myself now.
Yeah, it was so gross, and we're going to get into all of that right now, but spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, don't. It honestly made me want to rip out my eyeballs, but like in a good way. So like, let's get right into all of that. There was so much murder this week.
Yes, it was Murder Central. We lost a ton of characters, and wait, who did we lose?
So we lost Bob, and then we lost the weird gimp he kept in the attic who was like suspended, and it just hurt me even looking at that. Then we also lost poor RJ in like the worst death scene I have seen on Horror Story in a while.
Yes, it was very hard to get through, and especially with the nail gun situation that happened.
It was just like such a slow build-up, just like one by one. I hated it so much, and it was awesome. Like, it has been so long since American Horror Story was actually like horrifying.
Yes, thank you, Ryan Murphy, for putting the horror in American Horror Story.
It was so great and so terrible, and I never want to watch that scene again in my life. R.I.P. RJ. And there was also only a little bit of Allie in this episode, which like I was kind of grateful for. I feel like we've gotten a lot of Allie up until now, but even though there was only a bit of her, we still got like a huge turning point for her character.
Yes, Allie is finally putting 2 and 2 together. It's not a conspiracy in her head. There is an actual cult or something is going after her, and she's not totally crazy. I mean, she's a little bit still, but
she like is finally she finally knows that there are people after her, and even though Meadow told her that Ivy's one of these cult members, she doesn't quite 100% believe that yet, because like clearly she's still called Ivy, but she's so close to realizing that her wife is in on it, and like the sooner we get to that reveal, the sooner I think this season's gonna like really kick into high gear.
Yeah, there's only so much time that you can spend being that clueless, so I'm excited to see that, and thank you, Meadow, for pointing her in the right direction.
Everything Meadow does is literally my favorite, so I'm glad she was the one who got to like reveal all of this info to Allie, because she's the best, and she deserves to do the best things.
Yes, but unfortunately it looks like she may have.
If you kill Meadow, I riot. I'm like Team Meadow all the way. But that was not just the only big reveal this episode. We also finally learned like all about Kai's backstory, and it is insane.
Yes, this episode revealed that Kai is, he's not that, impenetrable leader, that fierce leader that he presents himself as. He has some very serious daddy issues.
Yeah, so we learned that like his dad was like an abusive jerk after he got in a wheelchair, and that his mom got pushed so far to the limit that she actually killed his dad and then killed herself, and he witnessed this whole thing and called his brother that's just the dead bodies, but he calls his brother Cheyenne Jackson, Dr. Vincent, who is actually the one who puts like the sort of illegal, like bad thoughts into Kai's brain. It's like, let's cover the bodies with lies, stash them in the bedroom, and like cheat the system and get the disability checks.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that, Kai didn't come up with these ideas on his own. He obviously had some sort of influence, which was his brother and possibly that Red Pill website we saw, which to me looks like Reddit.
I like did a deep dive into that website. There was nothing on it. It was just like about hooking up with girls.
Oh, really?
So it looks like Kai was just like a totally normal kid before his brother sort of pushed him over that line to the other side of the law. And so, like, there we learned that, like, okay, looks like Dr. Vincent was kind of, like, manipulating Kai a little bit. And now I worry that we're going to see Beverly Hope start doing the same thing.
Yeah, she definitely opened up a weakness for Kai, bringing up his parents. And this is the first time that we actually see him break down. And it's because she asked him, who were your parents or what happened to them?
I think she's going to use that information against him. Like, she is cold hearted. Like, she only cares about, you know, burning down the world. And I think Kai, at his core, is like more concerned about like saying F you to dad and like working through all of these like weird unresolved family issues. I think she's totally going to turn on him.
Yeah, it's interesting because when Kai first brought her into his cult, he was saying, you know, equal power, this is us united. But it's clear after this scene that she's going to be the one pulling the strings very soon.
And I'm really excited to see how that switch occurs and like how Kai and particularly the cult members he's related to, like Winter and Dr. Vincent, handle maybe Beverly sort of stepping up in the cult and maybe even being insubordinate and becoming a new leader. I think that could be really fun.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting. And we've reached that point where it's just going to hit the fan even more so every week.
Yeah, I think every week from here on out is going to be nuts. So make sure you tune in again next week for more American Horror Story Dissected.
And remember, keep it spooky.